How we all doing, everyone? Pretty cool day today. So this week wraps up one of the best weeks I've had training-wise in a while. Now, not just from a feeling standpoint, because my body's kind of getting back into things. I'm not dealing with any or as many aches and pains. I guess there's always maybe something. But the cool thing is numerically and physically, it looked, measured great, and felt great. So today's Thursday. And this week, I actually hit a PR. So I hit 68.5 centimeters on my vertical jump. And so for those of you who noticed or remember, I started at 61 centimeters. And I think I can get to 75. And so we're doing really well. This is about 3 weeks in, and it's kind of been taking off. But I've learned a lot. And one of the things I've really learned is how to control my training much better. Now, this past week, what I've done, I made a couple of really conscious efforts to change my training. And it actually wasn't under my own volitional effort. It wasn't like I was like, oh, I need to do this because I'm tired. I actually did it because I have an athlete coming in, and we're going to be training. And you'll see him on these videos here shortly. And I wanted to make sure I went through his training program. And normally when I work out, I do things that are a little bit more extreme than I'd have an athlete do. But I do that so I can understand what some of the limits are and I feel comfortable with pushing that athlete, but also so I can get a feel for the workflow of the training sessions. Now, with the upcoming training sessions, what we're going to do, what I found really useful, and this is based on some theoretically applied endocrinology, I guess would be the backbone of this, but we're doing two-a-days. But we're doing two-a-days a little bit different. So the first session I've been doing is high demand output, dynamic movements. So our plyos, any accelerations, and in all, it lasts about 30 to 35 minutes at most. Maybe up to 40 if there is some teaching involved of the movements themselves. So that portion, at least what I've been doing this past week and a half, has involved acceleration starts, 4 of them, that's all, about 10 yards or 10 to 15 yards. And then I go and do my max jump testing. And so there's some warm-up jumps. I'm going to do a total of 5 max effort jumps to see where we're at. And then I've been doing some depth jumps. They're actually called Carmelo Pierta depth jumps. And so the way we land at them is a little bit different with a deeper knee bend. And I'll show you the video actually right here. You can check it out. Deeper knee bend. When I hit on that contact, it's a little bit longer ground contact time, emphasizing eccentric demand on the quads. And then I do my pogo jumps after that with a little bit of weight or just body weight. So that those depth jumps were about 3 to 5 sets of 3 reps. And then I did the pogo hops of about 5 reps, a couple of sets. And that was it. And that was it for the training. So if you look at that little small chunk, we have 4 reps of the sprints. We have about 12, 15, almost in all 30 to 45 total high effort jumps. Keyword high effort, managing our rest. Then I've been taking an hour and a half break. Actually, I'll have a meal, rehydrate, and then I'll go do some of my strength work right after I have that recovery. I down-regulate the system, and I pick it back up. And during that next training session, I'll do some lower body emphasis, and again, only lasting about 30 minutes at most, maybe 15 to 20, kind of depending on what's on the docket for that day. And we do this and we repeat it and so on and so forth, but we make the adjustments based on specific variables. So is someone, or am I getting tired, and do we taper off intensity and volume? But we're kind of stealing a little bit from the Bondarchuk idea, because every 2 weeks we'll cycle in some new complexes. And again, tracking our progress all the way through to make sure we're making the gains that we want to make. And what I found doing this is 2 things. One, I'm no longer just enduring my workout. So I'm not just trying to get through it, but I'm actually leaving the training session feeling like I could do way more. Like, wow, man, is that all I'm doing today? And part of that is we're trying to stimulate the body, not crush the body. And just because we can do more doesn't mean we should do more. Secondly, I found out because I'm having these breaks, I'm actually able to get my nutrition in better. I'm actually eating versus a 2-hour-long workout where that's a big chunk of time when we actually eat right after. So it's very easy to control if you have a 30-minute workout, rehydrate. And then I've been able to do this repetitively, very consistently. And so my numbers looked great. And as I said, I jumped my highest. And I actually did a windmill today when I was pretty tired. I didn't really want to. I was going to jump. I actually had a good workout this morning, but I probably pushed myself a little bit too hard. I went into that second training session without enough rest, and you can feel it physically. You start to kind of get a little winded, and your legs get a little quaky, and you're like, oh, well, that's probably a little bit too much. Maybe it was malnutrition as well. I didn't really eat enough the night before, nor after the workout, whatever. Neither here nor there. Point is, I was a little bit tired today when I was shooting around. And at the end of the workout, I was like, I wonder if I can still jump. And I actually threw down a windmill my first try, and I was like, that's pretty cool. I'll take it. I threw down some two-hand dunks as well. So it seems like we're kind of making some big progress here. We're starting to kind of break through, not necessarily some plateaus, but maybe some programming plateaus, some organization that wasn't really done appropriately from my end. But that's the point, and that's why I did it. I literally was doing the same workout every day on repeat for 9 days because I need to understand how this workout functions. I need to feel the details of it, the workflow of it. I've learned some things, I cut some things out, I added some things, and all in all, I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. And it's something that I'm pretty excited about, but it's really a different training model, right? It's not like this, oh, you had to go and work out and train. No, this little kind of almost one big unit of working out, but broken up into 2 micro portions seems to be working really well for me. The idea is from the theoretical side would be that we're modulating the stress response. So at a certain point in time, if I've been working out for 40 minutes or 50 minutes, every effort beyond a certain point in time begins to become more and more taxing on the body because as a stressor, it begins to not just act as every minute is a stressor, but every minute past a certain point begins to almost aggregate or add up and compound with each other. Think about that like with your focus and you're trying to do homework. After a certain point in time, every minute past the point where you're kind of mentally tired almost seems like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes and starts to add up physically. So something I've been taking into consideration, and it seems to be working really well, so I'm excited about it. I appreciate you guys tuning in, by the way. It gives me an opportunity to share this stuff, and I hope you guys are enjoying these discussions here. I appreciate y'all, and as always, thank you for listening. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share, and I hope you all enjoy and take care.